Many people may or may not know that the vagina does actually clean itself, and it's one of the unique things about that organ that it cleans itself. So the vagina has what we call organisms, which are different bacteria and fungi that allow it to maintain its natural pH so that it cleans itself. It's recommended that, generally speaking, you just wash or clean the outside of the vagina and also between the labia. So there's no need to clean deep inside the vagina, because what that does, it actually removes the normal organisms that are inside that help to keep the vagina healthy. And when that happens, that can cause an overgrowth of yeast and other bacteria that then lead to infections that happen over and over again. We don't recommend douching, because douching washes out that natural flora inside the vagina, changes the pH, and then puts you at risk of developing infections. We don't recommend using soaps or tissues or pads or liners that have any scent or any fragrance, because that also changes the pH, which can cause you to have more infections. We also suggest that you wear cotton underwear. I'll suggest that you refrain or try as best as possible to stay away from tight-fitting clothes. And once you go in the water, like if you go to the beach or the river or the pool, as soon as you come out, you dry the vagina properly and keep the area as dry as possible, because the yeast especially likes warm, moist environments to grow. The lubrication that is produced during sex is produced from the vagina. So the walls of the vagina and the glands in the vagina release fluids once a woman gets aroused, and that is for the purpose of sex, to ensure that sex is comfortable and pleasurable. Every woman will vary in the amount of lubrication that she produces. So in terms of if there is too much or too little, I think that would be dependent on the woman and her level of comfort during intercourse. So a woman may feel or experience that during intercourse it is a little bit painful, especially on entry, when intercourse is just beginning, or during intercourse she may feel that inside the vagina is a little bit dry. If that is the case, then it would be recommended that she uses a lubricant before and during intercourse to make it more comfortable, because if you don't have enough lubricant, then there may be too much friction from the sex, which can then cause a lot of pain and also can cause bleeding. The final question is the issue of the tightness of the vagina. What happens after you deliver? What happens in terms of if your partners are different sizes? Is it that the vagina is going to stretch open and it will never go back to what it was? And again, it varies from woman to woman, right? The vagina is a remarkable organ in that the muscles and the tissues inside the vagina recoil and regroup very, very well. Of course, with more and more deliveries, right? So the more vaginal deliveries you have, the more the vagina generally will tend to stretch, but it's not that the vagina stretches now from this to this, right? Some women, however, will experience or will say that, boy, doc, after I have delivered, 2 or 3 kids, my partner has complained, or I have realized that the vagina isn't as tight anymore. And that's because just the normal elasticity of the vagina is a little bit less. So imagine you have a rubber band. If you stretch the rubber band and you let it go, it will recoil. But if you stretch it every day, it might not go all the way back to what it used to be. But there are actually new surgical techniques now that can help to correct that. So there is vaginal laser rejuvenation, as well as other surgical techniques that can help to reconstruct and resume some of the tightness in the vagina. So there we have it. So those are the common questions. So I hope that we have addressed the life of the vagina. For further information, you can follow the Flare to be updated in terms of general women's health. And that's it.